Hi everyone. So I thought it might be time for us to start another chapter book. And the book I have chosen is one that if you are in year 1 or year 2, you will probably recognise. It's a book we read last year and you absolutely loved it. And a few of you have asked me if we can read it again. So I thought that would be a really good choice for our next chapter book. So the book we're going to read is, drumroll please, Whizziwig! Whizziwig by Malorie Blackman. Now we read this last year and I know you enjoyed it, so here goes. Chapter 1. So the first chapter is called Nothing Scary. Nothing scary. Mom, Dad, can I sleep with the light on? Please, please, Ben begged. Mum shook her head. Now, Ben, we've been through all of this before. There's nothing scary in this room. But there is. It's small and furry and it but bounces about. Ben tried to swallow down the lump stuck in his throat. And it only comes out after you've switched the light off. Ben watched as his mum and dad exchanged a glance. Their eyebrows raised. They didn't believe him. It's true, honest, Ben pleaded. Ben looked around his bedroom. It looked all right now, perfectly normal. But Ben knew there was something. He stood behind his mum and dad at his bedroom door. He didn't want to go any further into the room. The something might be in there, just waiting to leap out at him. Ben, there's nothing here, Dad said gently. Look, I'll show you. Dad walked over to the bed, where he squatted down and lifted up the duvet which trailed down to the carpet. He peered into the dark shadows beneath the bed. See, Ben? Nothing under there. Ben winced as Dad stuck his arm under the bed and waved it about. Then Dad stood up and went over to the wardrobe. And there's nothing in here either. Dad flung open the door. Ben flinched, but then looked. His dad was right. The wardrobe was full of his clothes, but nothing else. There are no bad things anywhere in your room, or this house for that matter, said Mum. Nothing bad could get past us. But, Ben began. No buts, Ben, Mum interrupted. You're just having bad dreams. And you know why, don't you? Dad frowned. This all started last Saturday, when you sneaked behind the sofa to watch that late-night horror film. Mum nodded as she remembered. Yeah, we didn't catch you until the film was half over. That's where all this has come from. There's Ben hiding behind his mum and dad's legs. Looks a bit worried, doesn't he? Watching that film has given you nightmares. Mum, it wasn't the horror film and I'm not having nightmares, Ben said. There's something in this room and it waits till it's dark and then... Ben, if you carry on like this, you'll never get any sleep, Mum sighed. OK, we'll leave the light on, but only for tonight. Do you want Tarzan with you? Tarzan was their black and white dog with a slobbery tongue. Ben shook his head. No thanks, Mum. To tell the truth, Ben was a bit frightened of Tarzan too. When Tarzan got excited, he would whirl about and leap up at people. No, as long as the light was left on, then Ben would be all right. That way the something couldn't leap out and bounce about and surprise him. But he still had to get across his bedroom to his bed. Ben took a deep breath, then another. Then he sprinted across the room, his feet barely touching the carpet. He leapt into his bed, pulling the duvet up to his nose. Good night, Mum. Good night, Dad, Ben said. Ben's mum and dad kissed him good night. They left the bedroom, shutting the door behind them, but remembering to leave the light on. Ben could hear them talking, although he couldn't make out the exact words. The sound faded as they walked downstairs. I bet I know what they're talking about, Ben thought sadly. Wish I was more like Splitter Lawson at school. He's not afraid of anything. I'm afraid of everything, even my own dog. Ben felt totally miserable. If only he was brave and fearless, like Splitter. Then he would stand in the middle of his bedroom and demand that the bouncy something shows itself. Slowly Ben looked around. The room was brightly lit and still. Maybe he was imagining things. Maybe he was just having nightmares. Ben shook his head. He remembered the night before when the light had been off but the curtains weren't drawn, so that silvery moonlight streamed in through the window. Ben was just nodding off when the something had woken him up by bouncing and bouncing and bouncing across the room until Ben screamed for his mum and dad. Then the bouncy something disappeared. That wasn't a dream. Ben was sure it wasn't. Ben! Ben! Ben sat up at once. Something was calling him. Ben! Something from inside his bedroom. And the next chapter's called Whizziwig Appears. You'll have to wait till next time to see what happens. Hopefully see you for Finger Gym.